Good morning, everyone. So, today, thank you for joining us. So, we're going to share how Quizlet can be used to support vocabulary learning and classroom engagement. So, before we begin, we would like to acknowledge the traditional owners and custodian of the land and pay our respect to the past and present, as well as Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders today, and we honor their continuing cultural and spiritual connection to the land. Okay, so in this session, we'll focus on teaching areas Japanese, Chinese, and psychology. So at first, these subjects may seem quite different, but that's exactly why Quizlet is so useful. And we will show you why just in a moment. We'll look at some classroom strategies for differentiation and engagement using Quizlet, and also consider the risk and limitations of ICT tools using recent research. This connects directly to the QCAA syllabus. For Chinese and Japanese, QCAA highlights the importance of vocabulary learning, both in character recognition and in intercultural communication, where students need to build strong bank of technical terms and expressions to meet assessment standards. In psychology, QCAA emphasizes the use of discipline specific terminology, with students assessed on how accurately they can apply these terms in extended responses. While Quizlet offers a way to support students in systematically building and revising their vocabulary across subjects, helping them not only meet syllabus objectives but also gain confidence in using these terms effectively in their assessments. We'll also show how Quizlet can be used in classroom teaching, supported by theories such as Krashen's input hypothesis. And finally, we'll connect this discussion to a framework that can guide us in using technology effectively in the classroom, TPAC. TPAC stands for Technological Pedagogical Connect Content Knowledge. And Joyce will explain them in detail to you soon. By the end of this short session, we hope you will have a clearer sense of how Quizlet can support vocabulary acquisition, including both language learning and technical terms in different subject areas, while also linking to QCAA curriculum expectations. So, what is Quizlet? So, Quizlet is an online learning platform that allows teachers and students to create sets of words and definitions, which can then be practiced using flashcards, games, and quizzes. It is especially effective for vocabulary learning, but it can also be adapted for technical terms across the curriculum. In today's session, we'll use examples from Japanese, Chinese, and psychology. Now, I'll hand over to my colleague Joyce, who will talk you through some specific strategies for using Quizlet in the classroom.
Thank you, Ling, for that introduction. Now I will talk about how we actually use Quizlet in classroom and importantly why it can be such a powerful tool for student learning. How do we use Quizlet in our classrooms? Quizlet can be integrated into lessons in several practice ways. One is vocabulary learning. Students can practice new words through flashcards, learn and test mode, which supports subject-specific literacy. We also have terminology learning. In subjects like second language, Chinese, and Japanese, or psychology, technical terms can be revised using learn mode and auto generated quizzes. And then linked to the quizzes and games, features like match or live makes revision more interactive, encouraging collaboration in a healthy competition as well. We also have differentiation. Teachers can assign sets at varying levels of difficulty, giving extension opportunities to advanced learners while scaffolding support for those who need extra practice. So, why do we use Quizlet? Firstly, we have to take a look on APSTs. These uses of Quizlet are directly connecting to APST 2.6, which is using ICT to expand curriculum learning opportunities, and APSTs 1.5, which is differentiating teaching to meet the needs of learners across the full range of abilities, which while using Quizlet, it supports APST 2.5, supports literacy and numeracy as strengthens vocabulary and terminology learning across disciplines. APSC 3.4, selecting and using resources as teacher can correlate and to adapt Quizlet sets, ensuring accuracy and alignment with student needs. And APSC 6.2, engaging in professional learning, which exploring digital tools like Quizlet is a part of developing effective ICT practice for teaching. Secondly, Quizlet is available to questions I plus one hypothesis. Questions I plus one hypothesis is predict acquisition that happens more effectively when learners or students are exposed to comprehensible input that is just beyond their current level. As I means the student's current level of language competences, and plus one means the next step beyond that level. Teachers can create progressive encountering new or and more difficult ones for Quizlet sets, and then create more opportunities for students practice familiar terms as well too. And this is scaffolding ensures the learning stays in the I plus one zone, not too overwhelming or not too easy, always stays in the advanced level. For example, teacher can increase difficulty via step-by-step steps. Step 1 could be learn 5 new vocabularies as a new stats. Step 2 is another set for 5 previous vocabularies and 3 new vocabularies. And step 3 can as another set for 8 previous vocabularies as from step 1 and step 2, and then plus 5 new vocabularies. Thirdly, the theoretical lens of TPEC framework explains Quizlet is a strong example of integrating technology as a platform pedagogy with Quizlet digital flashcards. Students can repetitive learning and collaborate into different modes in games. And content knowledge as mostly all subjects of vocabularies and phrases. This ensures the use of technology is not a gimmick but meaningfully applied with curriculum outcomes. Now I would like to pass to Alice who will explain how to set up in
Quizlet.
Quizlet.
Thank you, Joyce. As we all know, Quizlet is an incredible useful tool in the classroom. Now let's get started. I will provide step-by-step instruction to show you exactly how to use Quizlet so you can feel confident bringing it into your own teaching. Firstly, go to quizlet.com and click sign up. Please click this link. Yes. And then here we can see they have the button shows I am a teacher, so please make sure you click the right one. Okay, have you all done it? Okay, now let's create your class. Click the new class button here and set the title. Please click the button. Yes, just click here. Yes, click. Yes. So it's the next step. We are creating your class. So, for example, take psychology as an example. Then it's time to create your first set. Let's start with some terms and definitions. So just press this button. Yes. And then press the create class. Yes, so now we are create our own sets. So you can add these 4 types of attachment here and give the definitions or use Quizlet's built-in auto-define tool to save time. So we can just click here and just click the just turn it to the next page and we could see, yes, just click. And then we could see the auto tour there and then just click again Then we can see the picture here. Then after this step, we can just click the create button in the last page. And now we already finished the items. So now once you're finished, click the create button to publish the set. Now now that you got your set, it's time to share it. Click the share button so we can see this page. Then you can just create your own QR code or post it directly to Google Classroom or whatever uh, LMS your school uses at the top of the page. So just click again, then we can see, click again, please. Thank you. So we can see at the top of this page, we can see the search bar here and type in what you are looking for and press enter. Then you will see a list of sets made by other teachers. Once you have found what you need, click on sets to view the terms and definitions. You can click edit sets and click save to keep it in your own account. We will just finish setting up a Quizlet set. Now let's explore some of other features that can make your classroom more engaging, interactive, and effectively. So now a side feature, you can give your students a clear task with a deadline. When assigning, you get to choose how students will study the set. For example, through learning, flashcard, test, and matching. If you have a paid teacher account, you can even check who finished and see the results. So just click again. We can see there's a side an activity and there's a full mode here. And also, another interesting feature is categories. So please click again. And yes, that's categories. And it's a line travel game. It allows students to compete in teams to answer questions around a customized teaching topic. Simply add players or teams, and the system will automatically generate questions based on your preparation. So the game duration is flexible, ranging from 5 to 15 minutes, making it suitable for classroom quizzes, review sessions, or fun competitions. More importantly, it quickly simulates students' interest and engagement. In addition, there's a more features worth exploring, so you can just click the link here to get further resources. So in next page, we will already know something about Quizlets. So the question we would like to know is whether you think you would use Quizlets in your classroom. Please take a moment to scan the QR code here and share your response in Mentimeter. Okay, so we already got your answer. So please take a moment to assess the next page, please, to assess this Mentimeter and tell us what you think. If you would like to use Quizlets, please scan the QR code on the left and tell us how you plan to use Quizlets. If no, but why not? So we really want to know your answer. So now let's welcome David to give us a final summary.
Thanks, Alice. That was amazing. So, to round up, Ling has introduced Quizlet in relation to our different subject areas and linked to QCAA curriculum expectations. Joyce has described how Quizlet is used in the classroom and in relation to the APSTs, Krashen's I+1 hypothesis, and the TPAC framework. And Alice has given us step-by-step instructions on how to make your own Quizlet set and start using it in the classroom. It's really not difficult to use Quizlet, or rather, it's only as difficult as you make it. There are already a lot of sets of flashcards and other resources made by teachers around the world available in the app and in many different learning areas. So there seem to be many positive aspects to Quizlet. Alice mentioned that it is an incredibly useful tool in the classroom, and it can definitely support vocabulary acquisition and differentiation. With a big collection of flashcard sets behind you, Students who need to be extended can be directed to the next appropriate set or can use them to revise. In language learning in particular, repetition is the key. So having appropriate resources available for students to use anytime they want, either on the mobile app or on a PC at home, well, they can do that. They can do a lot of repetitive practice. On the other hand, it can also help students who may be struggling a little by allowing them to start at their own level and progress upward, or to focus on words that they really need to know. Designed appropriately, Quizlet can assist the teacher to scaffold with any student. Could you change it, please? Oops. Taking a more critical perspective, it seems sometimes that the use of technology in the classroom is somehow inevitable. Apps like Quizlet, Kahoot, and Bluekit have been widely available for quite a while now and are being used often in schools before we even get there. According to Özdemir and Sechkin, Quizlet was being used by about 60 million people each month as of last year. Will we be going into an environment in which the use of such technology is expected or even required? Hopefully, we will have the choice whether to use it or not in any particular situation, but you would expect that if students are asking us to use Quizlet in the classroom, or for Quizlet-based resources that they can use for homework in their own time, it would lead to increased engagement and motivation on their part and be a positive driver of learning. But is that the case? Recent research by Özdemir and Sechkin indicates that the paucity of quantitative studies on student attitudes and motivation towards Quizlet does not allow a definitive answer. Qualitative studies suggest that it depends on implementation processes and educational context. So how the teacher designs use of the app is extremely important. Another highly significant research finding is that while the initial learning of vocabulary may be enhanced by using Quizlet, paper-based flashcards are better for the retention of vocabulary, especially among advanced learners. Retention beyond the next exam date is surely the preferred outcome in language learning. So again, implementation processes and highly repetitive use of vocabulary in learning design are very important. Excuse me. Other research by Abdul Rahman also indicates that students have serious ethical concerns over the use of Quizlet, particularly with regard to digital privacy and feeling coerced into signing up to apps. A significant proportion of teachers think that the use of digital tools makes students lazy and leads to a lack of understanding of the culture of the foreign language being learnt. This would seem to suggest the need to balance the use of digital language learning tools with books and other resources, and to engage in discussion with students about how they want to learn and which apps they want to sign up to. Beyond surveillance and digital privacy, further ethical questions that arise over the use of Quizlet in education may relate to matters such as the commodification of education by a profit-driven company, academic integrity, the erosion of teacher autonomy, and the use of student-generated content. Once sets are made public, they can be altered and used freely, so their integrity may be questioned. Also, does the use of Quizlet sideline meaningful learning? Gamification may draw students' attention for a while, but does it lead to superficial engagement? Also, the premium features of Quizlet are behind a paywall, so there are equity issues to consider. One last ethical point concerns the use of AI to generate resources for the compilation of flashcard sets. This is a powerful and highly productive way to perform this task, but may tip the teacher into a murky ethical zone if the original sources cannot be found and attributed. Overall, though, as a group, we think that with appropriate implementation processes and thoroughly considered use, including discussion with students and the possibility of access for all students if the app is used, and continuous confirmation of the academic integrity of any digital resources used, Quizlet can be used to great advantage in the classroom and elsewhere. Next slide, please. The end. Thank you for watching. What's Garisamadishta?
谢谢，谢谢，到仔。